This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Look, if we can't have Shaun talking about sport, let's talk about Shaun doing sport.
That's right, everybody. We're going to talk right now to the people that went to watch Shaun do sport.
Good morning.
Or not. So we've got Harry, we've got Sam, and we've got Amy, who were part of the, very vocal support crew who went to Rotto on Saturday to see Shaun finish the Rottnest Swim, which, of course,
Didn't happen.
You didn't.
what a fizzer.
We didn't see him finish.
Yeah.
So at what point did you find out it wasn't happening? Where were you?
Harry?
We just got on the 10 o'clock ferry out of Freo, and the skipper announced over the PA that the swim had been... Well, first of all, they said anyone that hadn't made it past 14 kilometres would be pulled out, but then 5 minutes later, the whole swim abandoned.
Yep.
Well, it was a real journey for some people even on the way. The ocean was reportedly quite choppy. Sam?
Yeah, within 10 minutes, I was like, I'm going to be seeing my breakfast soon. And I was correct.
What a great reunion.
I had to leave the little crew that we were sitting with to go sit out the back of the boat. And I was like,
Get some fresh air.
Yeah, I'll sit back here and collect myself. Then the lovely people next to me started talking to me. Oh, not feeling too well, mate. I'm like, shut
that usually helps.
Stop talking
Don't you hate
to
it when
me.
you're trying to collect yourself? And I was like, this is not a talk show.
Are you okay? I might leave me alone. And then so I just locked myself in the bathroom and I spewed for about 20 minutes. And I sat in the bathroom for the rest of the...
You monopolised that.
Yeah.
Oh, did you
great.
sit in the
Good for you.
bathroom
The
like it was
whole
your own
time.
private
Well,
cabin?
nobody else would have wanted it. It's fine.
But I felt so much better after than my little
Oh, that's
vommy.
fantastic. Several people crap themselves. Harry, how was it for you?
I've got my sea legs. I was going okay, but it was, it's quite rough when, people are yakking on a giant ferry. Imagine all the other boats out there supporting the swimmers.
Bobbing around.
We actually, the ferry stopped halfway to Rotto at one stage because there was an upside down kayak just floating along.
Yeah.
And
There was a lot of that, I heard.
of course, you have to check and make sure they're okay. Then the police boat came and scooped it out of the water.
Really?
And this was just before I'd thrown up too. So the guy over the
just
PA
making
was
about
like,
yourself.
he was like, we've only got 15, 20 minutes left of the journey, and then I feel the boat stop, and I'm like, no.
Well, I read a lot of comments straight after the articles that were put on the weekend about it being cancelled, and so many armchair people that I don't think have ever put their foot in the ocean were saying, I can't believe they cancelled it. That's piss weak. It's like, no, because Harry, your brother was a paddler.
Yeah, he was paddling and skippering, and for a lot of the swimmers, yes, they could have made it, but then it comes down to safety and the emergency services resources. But the paddlers were pretty much they got out of the water because they were getting knocked off the kayaks. And then it was just
It was
the swimmer
harder
along.
paddling than swimming, which is rarely the case.
The paddlers, those unsung heroes of the day.
Well, they are, because really, why isn't there a competition about paddling to Rottnest? Because everyone's giving the glory of the person that's swimming, but what about the paddlers?
Yeah. I spoke to one of my mates who has done it so many times. So he's gone solo 5 times. He's done it in a duo a few times. And Saturday would have been something like his 20th time in a team. And he said the worst conditions he's ever, by a long shot. And he'd flown down from Broome specifically to do it.
Wow.
And so it's like, okay, get back on the plane and go back again. But, there were so many people. It was just so ridiculously rough. But I was out to breakfast in Fremantle on the morning, and we got the text message to say that it had been abandoned.
Yep.
We're looking out the window going,
It's not that bad.
it was pretty
It
calm.
did-
And it's
it
like
didn't make
hard to
sense.
believe
Yeah.
that just over there, because we're in Fremantle, like a couple of k's that way, it's so horrendous that they've had to abandon the whole race.
It didn't make sense until you were
unfathomable.
out there.
In the water,
And then you're like,
amazing.
oh, wow.
And then, of course, the wind swung round in the afternoon, and it was a really
Perfect-
smooth trip
perfect
over on the
conditions,
ferry. That made no sense.
The pub was great.
Yeah, so
Heaving.
party on party people. Amy just went over there to get smashed. Amy, how was it on shore, just as a spectator? How was it?
Oh, the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Everyone's pumped, walking around and stuff like that. People obviously were gutted.
Yes.
People...
Got it for the people that were there to support.
Yeah.
So you saw Shaun. How was he?
Oh,
We'll
poor
check in with him
Shaun,
later. But
and just the way it kind of
yes, it's a fizzer, yeah.
It is a fizzer.
See, if that was me doing the swim, I would have gone, thank you, Lord.
I think
Because I would have, by that time, only done 50 metres in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was still trying to work it out in his head what had happened.
Yeah.
But I'll let him tell you how they told him.
Yeah, right.
The race had been cancelled, and
That's
I mean, it's
the one
devastating.
day.
6 months of training.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And he really did throw himself into the training wholeheartedly, or at least that's what he told us, so he could get out of meetings early.
I would really love it if there was like some rescue situation where a helicopter had a skill tester claw that just came down and grabbed people out of the water and dropped them on the beach. So Shaun is going to be speaking to us. We'll give him a bit of a sleep in. It'll be after 8 o'clock. We'll check in with Shaun and see how disappointed he is.
Get the lowdown. Look, it's sport time, so time to catch up with the man who normally does this segment.
That's right.
Got the day off. We let him rest a little.
No, we let him have the day off because he was going to complete the Rotto Swim. Natalie?
Hello, Shaun.
Natalie, Nathan.
Shaun.
How are we?
Shaun, so the deal was you get today off if you complete the Rotto Swim. How did you go with the Rotto Swim?
Didn't complete it. There's one thing we both got in common. None of us have swum to Rotto yet.
No, you have done in a team. Come on,
Yes,
but this is your
I've done it in a team.
first solo. Shaun, like for me personally, if that was me in the water and they said get out, I would have been thanking all the deities. But were you devastated?
It was. Nathan, I won't lie though. There was a part of me that was going, "Oh, that is the best get out card of all time."
Yes.
I was hopeful. The only thing, and this is even worse as well, I was hopeful that everyone had to stop. And because at one stage they said, if you're past the 14K mark, which I wasn't, I was at the 10K mark, then you're able to finish off the swim.
Yes.
But that only lasted for 10 minutes. But I was just praying. But when I legitimately found out that everyone was told to finish, then I got a bit of a satisfaction that I didn't give up. That was the thing.
Oh, well,
yes, that's
good.
right. That's right.
You didn't give up. The race gave up.
Yes, the race gave up on you.
That's it. That's it, absolutely. But
You were too strong for the race, some people may say, Shaun. The race couldn't handle what you were serving.
Hey, talk us through the conditions.
Let's go with that, mate.
How actually bad was it when you're in the water? What was it like?
For me, it was difficult to say because I knew it was challenging, and I was getting hit by waves, and I was missing strokes all the time, and I was thinking, I'm not going well enough, and I know I could put in 3 or 4 real hard strokes, and then I wasn't able to, throw my arms over because I just was surfing a wave, but I wasn't looking up as much as what was going on around me.
Yeah.
And the guys were saying, now that we finished and got back, hours later, they were saying radio was just constant of people pulling out, calling for maydays, asking for sea rescue. They said it was absolute carnage. They were watching people just floating around in the water with no kayaker because someone had fallen in, or they'd lost a paddle, or the boats were getting towed away. They said around what was happening with you, Shaun, it was just amazing. But I didn't feel that from my mates who were just saying, right, put your head down, let's go. And I was just trying to, stay in the moment. It was. I've got to say, though, the whole thing started off on a really bad foot because when my mate Pete started off, he was my paddler. We had a plan. I'll get to the end of the rope line. I'll stay, nice and tight to that, and then he would pick me up. Yep. Well, I got out there, and he paddled off with the wrong group.
Has he never seen you before?
Well, he thought that he'd be able to stop me easily, but everyone's wearing the same bloody, swimsuits and the same cap and the whole lot. So I was out there treading water for ages, and I'm asking, so I'm floating around about a K off the shore, and I'm asking, sea rescue's getting around, and I'm yelling out to these people. They come over to see if I'm okay, and I said, I can't find my paddler. And they said, what number? So I told them what number I was, which is 202, and they said, what's his name? So they're yelling out just in the middle of the sea, Peter!
That seems like there should be a better system than that.
It's like that business down in Scarborough, Peter by the Sea.
Yeah, that's right. This is Peter in the sea.
Hey, Shaun, so we have heard about, Pete, paddling off in a different direction. And we've heard 2 different stories. Yeah. Number one is the Shaun McManus version of you were left bobbing in the ocean for half an hour. The Pete version says it was barely 10 minutes. What's the truth?
I spoke to him just recently. I'll give it 20 then. I'll give it 20 minutes.
And we know that you hate waiting, but I guess you really hate waiting in the middle of the ocean, right?
God, that must be horrible.
Oh man, I can't believe I was trying to. So I just got to be calm. And as crazy as this was at the time, I was trying to float on my back, and it was like I was in the back out of my pool. I was just thinking, and all those things about sharks, all those things about the fear of the waves hitting you and stuff like that. It was really hard to keep under control. That was the main thing. Yeah, it was really difficult. But only not completing it. I put in so much effort, and I'm constantly getting text message this morning to sign up to the Ports of Pub
Yeah.
to do the solo, which is 3 weeks. So I've got a couple of hours to work that out.
So wait,
I
are
don't
you
know.
going to
But I
perhaps
haven't completed it.
transfer your team swim into a solo swim for Port to Pub?
Yeah,
so
because you
can
were
do it
going
that
to do
way?
it in a team, weren't you?
Possibly.
But you've already done half of it, so 10 kilometres would have been halfway, wouldn't it have?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So if I only just do the 10, then it's a
Just do the
Yeah.
10, mate. Just
the
do the
last
10.
10.
Oh, my God, yeah, with all the glory.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you feel all the stuff that you guys have been aware of that, and I've nicked off from work straight away afterwards to get my swimming done, and then the ocean says no.
Well, this is the thing. Like when I heard that it had been cancelled, I just thought the amount of time, the man hours you put into this training, and the discipline that you did for so long, and when it is a massive fizzer like that, how do you get your head around it?
Oh, not really easily at the moment. Yeah, it's really emotional. Yeah. I mean, apart from drinking 1,000 beers afterwards.
Yeah.
Just the last couple
Therapy.
of days because I know what effort. Yeah, and I haven't achieved it. That's the big. The whole thing is I've not done it.
Yeah. So then, do you go
And
again?
can I do it
Do you
again?
reset for next year? Yeah. Do you? Can you do
I don't
that?
know.
Nah.
Well, Megan can't do it, and I don't think you two can do it either.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but then you go. You can't never. Not like you would have done it. Do you know what I mean? So you need to do it.
Yeah, it's a battle.
Look,
It was a
next
battle.
year I'm not going to swim again to Rottnest.
Yeah, once again.
Once
Not
again.
swimming
But
to
then
Rottnest.
again, you didn't do it either. And mine just took less
that's right.
training.
Yeah. Same result.
Yeah,
See where we're coming from?
Let's train. No training.
Yes,
Same result.
That's the result.
In your face.
Sean.
How
We're a bit-
hungover were you?
Oh, so tired and emotional because I haven't had more than 2 beers really.
Oh, really?
For months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think I've really drank, and all I've done is get up on a Saturday and Sunday morning and at 5:30 every morning and go and swim in the pool or down the ocean.
Yeah. You're going to have to spend more
all of
time
that
with your
stuff happens.
family now.
Yeah, well, I don't think they want that, let alone me.
Yeah, that'll make him swim to Rottnest. Don't worry about that. No
Well,
conditions
by
will be
tomorrow
stopping
you'll
him.
know if I'm doing it again.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
By tomorrow you'll know.
Because Port to Pub entries, if people do want to get on board that, they close today. So
How interesting, Shaun. Will you have to cut off straight out of work again?
Well, I would have thought. Well, yeah, why not?
Why not? I mean, to do that though, you have to come to work. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah.
All right. Well.
I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see if we can lift
commiserations,
get at it
mate.
again.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right. See you
Good on you,
tomorrow.
mate.
Bye.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.